What do you do when your wife says, "What in the heck did you just sell?" Hey, in the morning, everyone. It's Kevin from Real Boring Flips, and I'm back for another episode of This Week in Sold. I'll probably actually cover a couple of weeks just because sales have been pretty slow. But I did want to talk about some of the items that I sold, particularly why I bought them and why you should too. But before we do that, I want to share what I'm enjoying. And I don't have an actual bottle, but this is Kirkland Select Spiced Rum in my special 50th anniversary Seattle Sounders glass. Now you might be wondering, Seattle Sounders 50th anniversary, the MLS hasn't been around for 50 years, but Seattle Sounders have. So that's why we have this. But very good. And I also have my craft ice from my brand new refrigerator that we're still trying to pay off. No solds on that. But let's talk about what I did sell. First up, I'll actually cover this Radio Shack. It's a controller, now brand new in the box. I had 3 of these that came from a picker pile. Now you might also know these as X10. You might see that on different vintage electronics for automated house control, light switches, outlets, whatnot. Look for this stuff, especially in new in box like this one. I paid pennies for this because it came from a picker pile, and I sold this one and the other one. Got one more, but I sold these each for $22.88 plus shipping. These things sell, so you might have a little bit of a wait, but brand new in the box, these will sell. So look for X10, or as Radio Shack calls it, plug and power. But look for this stuff. So the item that's gotten me in trouble is, you might have seen this if you saw my very first YouTube video once I started this channel, is this Larry Flint Hustlers mug. Now, there's actually a Hustler Club in Tacoma, Washington, near us, and it's actually right next to the Goodwill that I go to sometimes. I've never actually gone into the Hustler Club, but I found this at a different Goodwill, my local Goodwill, and I think I paid around $5 for this. But what attracted me to it was not the ladies on the cover necessarily, but the fact that it had some brand new stuff inside. And so we'll go ahead and experience what's inside here. So I think this was like a bachelor club or bachelor party type of thing that you would buy. So inside, this is part of it. We have a straw, obviously. You want to have a straw when you're drinking out of your big mug while you're at the Hustler Club. We also have, oh yeah, I'm the Bachelor, help me. And I think this, I don't know if it lights up or not, but it's got some kind of thing in the back here. I think you have to take the little piece off. Now it does have some aspirin for the morning after your bachelor party, so that's excellent. This is some instructions. I think it just tells you, content, so it tells you what's supposed to be in here. I'm not sure if everything was, but here we have a club card with a money clip, because obviously you're going to be rolling. Here we have a badge. I think it says, Boob Inspector, Department of Titillation. So you of course want that when you're at the Hustler Club. Here's some beads to share. I might get in trouble by showing all this. Here's some lubricant. Here's some, oh, some more types of lubricant. I won't even show that one. And another type of lubricant I'm not going to show. So, and also, I think this is a baby, maybe some kind of bottle top. I won't show the rest of that. Oh my. And then I won't even talk about what that is. So, really funny contents. Yes, this got me in quite a bit of trouble when I told my wife what I sold. Because this sold while we were on our trip, and I said, you won't even guess what I just sold. Now, I mentioned that I bought this at my Goodwill for, I think it was either $4.99 or $5.99. I'll put the value up on the screen. But what was funny about this was there were no comps. I couldn't comp this. I mean, obviously, you don't find these on eBay every day. But look at what I sold it for. Now, I priced it based on no one else had one. What would someone realistically pay for this? I mean, who would pay this for it? And I ended up selling this international. So I'm going to pack this up tonight, actually, to get it out tomorrow morning. But just a funny sale. I don't have this stuff often. It just happened to show up at my Goodwill. So my wife is really glad this is gone out of here. I think I can turn this off maybe. Yeah. So this will go out tonight. $99 international. Excellent flip, by the way. So I've got a couple other sales, and I'll talk about them and show them on the screen. But these last 2 weeks, I sold 2 clear telephones. So I'll show them both. These I grab anytime I can, as long as I can get them cheap. One of them I got as part of a picker pile and sold it for, let's see, the first one. Sold it for $19.88. It was picker pile, so I essentially paid maybe 50 cents for it. The other one I did buy in the store. I think at maybe my, I can't remember where I got that. Value Village maybe, or St. Vinny's. And that one also sold for $19.88. Some of these clear phones I've sold for higher amounts, but these didn't kind of fit that bill for the higher value ones. But I was glad to see both of them sold, and actually I've gotten great feedback on the one that sold recently. So that's good. I also sold a book called Searching for the Sound by Phil Lesh. Now this one wasn't signed, but it was a hardcover, first edition, first printing. Nice book about the Grateful Dead. So books like this I pick up when I get them very cheap. And so I don't remember exactly how much I spent for this. If I have that recorded, I'll put it on the screen. But I sold this for $17.88 plus shipping. And I probably spent either $1, maybe $2 at the most, but an excellent book. If I can find a first edition, first printing, usually I'll buy it if it's in, this was in almost perfect condition. So that was a good buy. I sold a lot of Walt Disney movies. Now, I don't buy these anymore, but sometimes I'll get them as part of something else. Like, I bought a TV, actually the TV that I use over at my desk, and it came with a TV stand, of course, and a bunch of movies. So bunch of VHS tapes and DVDs. So these came in a lot. I probably had very little into them, maybe $1 total. But these were some nice old, different older Walt Disney movies. So those sold for $8.50 plus shipping. Not a big sale. I didn't have a lot of big sales these last 2 weeks. One thing I buy a lot of when I get them, especially at like picker piles or rummage sales where they have lots of cords, usually tangled up, are heated blanket cords. I've probably sold 25 different heated blanket cords. And this is another one. I've sold several of these ones, but this was the last one I had. But this was a Sunbeam T85B cord, and I sold it for $9.88 plus shipping. Again, I probably had 10 cents into it based on a picker pile. Another thing I also get at picker piles or rummage sales where I can get them very cheap are cordless handsets, telephone handsets. Like a lot of times you'll get like the base station plus a bunch of handsets. I hardly ever sell the base stations unless they're brand new. So I'm pretty much just moving just to handsets. So if I get a base station, I usually just donate that back or dispose of it. But I will sell the handsets. Usually if they have rechargeable batteries, I'll put those in, charge them, make sure they charge. And then the base that the handset sits in to charge them. So I have very little into these. You know, again, maybe 25 or 50 cents into one of these, and this one sold for $12. And what's nice is usually I have like 5 or 10 of them of the same item, so I can do a quantity listing and then just wait for them to sell and ship them out. So less time involved for me if I have a quantity listing. And then I also sell a lot of Cuisinart or different food processor parts. I always part those out unless they're brand new. And in this case, this was a DLC 8, so Cuisinart DLC 8, the pusher assembly. So not the pusher itself, but the sleeve where the pusher goes. I have this pusher selling separately, but the only thing you have to watch out for are the blades. So some of these blades that are riveted are you can't sell on eBay because they've been recalled. In fact, I just had one of my listings canceled by eBay because it was actually the riveted blades, and I totally forgot about that. So this just this plastic pusher that you see sold for $19.88. Again, pennies into that. I also sold a nice bat, a wooden bat, which I normally don't buy, but I think I got this as part of a set of bats I think I got this at a garage sale from a friend of ours. So this was a DeMarini, and I've sold other DeMarini carbon fiber bats or aluminum bats. And this one actually sold, and it was a nice sale. It was $39 for a wooden DeMarini bat. And that went out this week too, or last week. I also sold a Sony flip clock radio. Now, this one I sold as parts because it actually wasn't flipping. But there's a specific part in these that, even though you could see it rotating, it wasn't flipping. I sold a working version of this, and I was almost petrified because I knew that people would buy these, remove that part, and then return them. In my case, they didn't return the item, but I was a little petrified. Now I'll put security seals on things like this, you know, so that I can tell that it's been opened, and I can show the security seal in my photos. But in this case, it was sold for parts. I sold it for $30. I think I had $5 or $10 into this because it came with a lot of other stuff, so I split the cost over many items. Not a lot of great sales, but I'm still kind of working my way through. As I've mentioned in my recent couple of videos, sales have been really bad, but really I blame myself for that. One, I haven't been listing, and two, you know, I have to go back and adjust my prices periodically because I base everything on current solds. I comp everything, create my listings based on comped recent solds, and in some cases things sit around for a while and then the comps change. I had a great comment on my last video about that, about an Oppo DVD player that, you know, I priced it pretty high, partly I think because I had sold several other ones that were higher end, and I'm a little high on that one, but I'm also, it's not something I really care if I sell or don't sell. I might just keep it, but it was a good reminder that I need to periodically look at my pricing, adjust my pricing for current comps, not just what it was when I originally listed. Because obviously my listings are for, you know, not auctions, they're purchases. So occasionally they sit around for a while and things change. So I almost rely too heavily on my make offers that I allow. So that was a good reminder to me. So thank you to the person that commented on that. So I am doing that now that I'm back from our trip, and I'm gearing up to switch my listings over to free returns. So we'll see how that goes. But just wanted to share with you a few of my solds these last week or week and a half. Even though it's slow, still getting some stuff. So thank you again. I hope this is valuable to you. Thank you for the value you're giving me. I work off value for value model. So I do want to make sure that you're getting something out of this. And as I always say, join me again next time.